That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
What up, strangers?
What's up?
In an alternate universe, we were doing something called Outer Rim News. I don't know, outer skim cruise or something like that.
Skim cruises.
Yeah, there we go.
That sounds like sex work.
I know it. Outer skim cruises.
You know.
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I know.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I've been sick. Sorry, y'all. I'm the reason we haven't recorded like the past 2 weekends. I come back from Disney World and I get sick like multiple times.
It's like that's what happens when you come back from Disney World. You catch like 1,000 things from other people.
Yeah,
they just incubate in you.
It sucks, man. I thought I didn't think I was ever going to recover.
Was it like a sinus sort of thing, or was it like
No.
like a head cold? Or
Okay, so the first one was some kind of nasty stomach virus that you don't want to get.
yeah, because
Then
I
the
called
next-
a cold, like it felt like a head cold or something, you know, with our nasal stuff.
Well, so then like that next week, my wife gets something viral. She checks herself for COVID, negative. She goes to the doctor because she's running 102-degree temperature.
Oh wow!
Check her for COVID, nope. Flu, nope. They said it's just something viral. She started by sneezing, and it turned into fever, and then the fever lasted 4 or 5 days, I think. And then, like right as she was getting better, I got it, and I was just like, "This is ridiculous."
You caught the Notico variant, which is called the not COVID variant, where
the not COVID variant,
where we're not, you don't
not
have
COVID.
It's not COVID.
well,
It's kind of like that's not butter. It's like that's not COVID.
It's not COVID.
But it's COVID. It's called that's not COVID. It's all the signs and symptoms of COVID.
It's the Aladdin. No, it's the Aladdin version of COVID. If you remember the dictator,
Yeah,
it's negative and positive. It's like you've got your COVID Aladdin.
yeah. You are COVID, Aladdin. Oh,
Well, I hated it, but
huh?
but yeah, but I'm back. I'm back and
Back.
New experiences.
Back in a toy mood.
yeah, I'm back in toy mood. I got a haul too, but we'll wait till the end for the haul.
Back in the new toy mood. Actually, we should have done it. That would have been good.
Well, also, we all have seen the new Batman movie.
Yeah, we
Any
haven't-
quick observations that you'd like to make? Quick review, like any quick blurbs you'd want printed on the movie? If someone came up to you and asked you, "We want to print your blurb on the back of Batman," what would
I
it
feel
say?
like I don't know. I feel like it's good. I felt like, in my opinion, this is the first Batman movie where it's complicated. I think I would put the tagline like it's complicated because it's just like because it's a loaded question, because it's a good movie, no doubt. It's a good movie, just like The Godfather is a good movie. What?
I'm thinking about like how the 4K box would looking at the bottom. It's just
It's complicated.
It's complicated. dot, dot, dot.
It's complicated because it really is. You're all of a sudden like, oh, we got a new Batman. Like, all right, but no, I mean, my thoughts on it were great Batman movie. Like overall, out of all of our Batman movies, this one is a true graphic novel, like Dark Knight movie, and it was so well done and well shot. Like the cinematography was excellent. Everything, like everything I could say about it in terms of being true to its roots, like a detective comic. I can't say it enough. I can't give it enough accolades. The only thing when I say it's complicated is just that I also have to take into account, any of these movies, any of these Batman movies in particular, because I started with the first one, and even though it is a dark movie, you go through all of them and you're like, well, kids watch them. And so it's like when I was watching it, number one, it's 3 hours long. 3 hours long. So it's a long movie, but it's really good. I mean, like I said, it's got a lot of like the great detective and mystery qualities and stuff to it. Great. I mean, obviously the great acting. I enjoyed, Robert Pattinson was a great Batman. His Bruce Wayne to me was just kind of like it was almost like they were really pushing for the obvious grunge Kurt Cobain look to be almost like what
You
it was
have
almost like the
something in the
non-corny
way.
way. Yeah. Well, with that too, but just his look when they would have him, just his hair was always like, and he was always. It just looked like he was
didn't
like
care.
shooting the cover. Yeah, it just looked like he was
Yeah.
shooting the cover for like an emo album at every moment, and it was just like obviously a put on, but it you know, it didn't bother me that much because his
Yeah.
Batman was great. I loved Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Mhm.
I thought the Catwoman was pretty good. Like I don't, you know, it's tough. Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, set a bar that it's going to be tough to ever get over. But I thought she was decent. I love Zoe Kravitz. Thought it was good. I mean, Paul Dano as the Riddler was great. But like I said, he is amazing, scary, just a brilliant take on the Riddler. But all of that saying, when I'm sitting there, I'm like, our kid's going to watch this. And this one, I would not take a kid to see this at all. It's
Yeah.
really the only thing I felt like that was kid worthy was the car chase. Like I felt like otherwise the kid's going to be asleep or they're going to be on their phone. Like this is boring because, you know, it's just the way it is in terms of when you're trying to entertain, you know, different levels. And when you go for like, all right, we're going for the hard, you know, comic book, we're going for a hard graphic novel version of Batman. This isn't going to be a kid's movie. Like they did that. They went full on like alternate universe Batman. So I applaud them for that. I don't know. I hope that they keep going in this universe. I want to see it fleshed out even more. Like I want to see more villains, more. That was the thing I think that this new movie lacked was there wasn't the bombastic, you know, there wasn't that energy that we've always had in all the other Batman movies. This one was a slow burn, like just a creepy. It's like watching Seven. It's like you're slowly unraveling, you know, this, you know, crap storm, you know.
Yeah.
But it still just to me it wasn't the best. It's like that's why I say it's complicated. It's like, was it the best Batman movie? It just depends on who you ask because it really was a great Batman movie, but wasn't my favorite Batman movie. I'm still, you know, I mean, obviously the classic Batmans are great, but I love Dark Knight. Dark Knight was just it to me. Dark Knight ran the fine line with this movie, like the way it kind of had a lot of the tones from this movie, but with a lot of Nolan's stuff, and then you had your big comic book moments scattered throughout that still made that movie big, and also a lot of focus on gadgets. I felt like in this movie it was kind of like they didn't really focus on or make a big deal out of the gadgets. It was just kind of like they existed in the world. Batman had this great suit, but he didn't, you know, they didn't call attention to it as much. It wasn't about that's one thing I actually like about the movie is the fact that they're like, it's not about any of this. It doesn't matter about anything you see. It's about the story. We're trying to figure out who's the Riddler. And what's he want? What's his connection?
Yeah.
What's his game? What's his motive? And it's like everything else is just like you're in that world. That's it. So that I applaud them a lot for. Like that was like they pulled no punches because it was like it didn't feel like they were like catering to anybody. You get what I mean? Like they weren't trying to go like this is the Penguin. This is because I mean the villains of this movie were all like beyond the Riddler. It was really a lot of just thuggery, like a lot of mobsters. And John Turturro was obviously great. So I mean, overall, I thought the movie was great. It's just like in one of those like weird, like it's great, but man, I don't take your kids to see it. I don't think they're gonna be like they're not gonna let you enjoy it. They're gonna be ready to go. So that's kind of my take on it. Sorry, it's overblown and long, but that was kind of my gist on it.
It's almost like it's the anti-Schumacher. You think about Batman or Robin, how much behind the scenes they were literally taking notes from producers saying, "Can we make a toy of this?"
Right.
And yeah, it's like this is the anti version of that. It's like
I'm looking at the toys that are out of it now, and I'm like, it's kind of I wouldn't have wasted the money to be honest, because I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not complaining. I just felt like that's their hook, is they're trying to get kids into it by the toys. By look, there's cars and there's a Batman.
I like my Lego set of the Batmobile, yeah, but I was into buying the Pattinson Batman McFarlane figure until I saw they all had the side eye, and I don't care to have that.
Did you see that gold label? It's like a it's like a gold label. I don't know if it's Walmart exclusive, but it's this big old Batman figure from that movie, and he's like, what is he? Ashley, is he black and white, almost like
Black and red
camouflage?
statue.
Black and red. Oh yeah, the silhouette statue. Or yeah.
I
I think
was
it's
going to
based
ask
on
you what
some
you thought
Jim
about.
Lee art. Yeah.
What did you think of that? Would that be something? Because that it looked pretty neat. I just didn't know what they were going for with it.
I think it's based on some Jim Lee art, I believe, because Jim
Gotcha.
Lee drew like here's some
Concept
promotional
art or something
stuff for
promotional. Yeah.
the Batman, and then they made that statue off of it.
For the Batman, I think about all the Batman movies we've had, like going all the way back to Adam West, and they're almost like different genres that they're tackling or different tones. So you think back to Adam West, you had the camp tone. It was very much comedy based. It was about the jokes and stuff. It was, there wasn't dark crime fighting in that. People didn't really even die. I don't think. Yeah, I don't even think the crimes actually involved people actually dying, did they?
Not
They
really.
tried to
It
kill
was
Batman
always-
and Robin very slow and
Yeah,
They
never
were the
killed
only
him.
ones. Yeah, but very
then-
cartoony.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Then you get up to Tim Burton's time, and that's very much gothic, dark. Then you get into Schumacher's, where you're kind of getting into that toyetic word, where it's basically they're just very flashy, almost like it's just trying to keep a kid's attention.
Well, to me, it felt like Schumacher took. I always felt like Schumacher
again,
took Tim Burton's world and played around in it more. Like basically shred all the old, like the just like the grayness out of the world and all the like. To be honest with you, all the good stuff that it's like he took all that out and then threw in neon and
Well,
then
he
still kept
also-
a lot of the stuff. It was like, and then he just splashed his own paint here and there.
Well,
and,
and then-
it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah, and then he also made Gotham kind of, insanely big in terms of his skyscrapers. You had giant statues that were big enough to drive a Batmobile down the arm of.
It was truly Metropolis. It was like Fritz Lang's Metropolis,
Yeah.
like in form,
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one shot from Batman Forever when he was going to answer the bat signal, and you see a shot rising up the side, rising up kind of like this section of Gotham, and you actually see the Batmobile go up like down, like on I guess bridges or pathways that are like elevated, like, and so it's almost like he's just like it's a city that's got layers way higher than probably their safety
It was like
code.
Coruscant. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
do
is
remember that because
Coruscant.
you remember it too because it was like sing sing. It was almost like Spaghetti Junction or something. Like there you go.
And then you get to the Nolan movies, and those are much more like epic crime thrillers.
Yep.
And
Way
then
more
now,
fun.
and then we kind of got Zack Snyder. It wasn't a full Batman movie, but it was much more of an action oriented, much it tried to be much more comic booky and brutal, but it's that kind of tone. And then this is the first time we've actually seen a straight up really dark, moody, because it was a moody movie, like whereas
The music, even the music made
yeah.
it like it was very like the score just was very. It was very good, very moody.
But yeah, this is to be the first time I think I could just easily step out of this Batman movie and say that was a noir Batman, story right there. That felt very much like those old detective noirs and like graphic novel, Long Halloween, for example. Like it was a big inspiration for it. Yeah, I'd say for the most part, I did like. I really liked it. I'd say I'm invested in seeing more of it. I'd say 9 out of 10 just for nitpicks. Like I wasn't too impressed with Barry Keoghan's Joker. Like,
Oh, you're talking about when they showed him talking about what you saw in the movie or the extended footage?
I'll say both, because first off, the scene where they kind of teased him that was actually in the movie. I remember walking out and talking to my wife afterwards, and we both were kind of like on the agreement, because I explained to her, yeah, that's Joker. That's supposed to be the Joker, and we both kind of agreed like that didn't feel necessary, because this was one of those movies where it felt so complete from one to the other that they didn't need to tease more. Like they didn't need to be a Marvel movie where it's got to tease the next part. It didn't need to have that, because it felt like it was just to tease Joker's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get out. We're friends now. So it didn't feel necessary. And then I saw the deleted scene that showed more of him, which the concept, I think his performance was better than the concept of him. Like, I hated how he looked. I really hated it.
He was like a mangy dog.
He looked like a mangy dog, and at first I thought it was chemical burns that he had all over him.
That's what I thought. Chemical burns.
Yeah, but then afterwards, apparently Matt Reeves said no, it's like birth defects that he's got. That's why his face is all scarred up looking.
I'm good.
It's a birth defect, and it's.
And why does his face protrude like he had a muzzle? I mean, like
I said, it's like a birth defect that he apparently it drove him crazy, and I think you're going to make some people feel really offended.
Yeah, I wasn't as bothered by the footage in the movie because they kept it low key enough that I just was indifferent. I wasn't like blown. I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see. So I guess that was a sign that I wasn't going to be thrilled. But it wasn't like, it was like whatever. But yeah, the added footage was a little weird. His look was like, I wasn't jiving with it.
Maybe, I mean, I'm hoping maybe that was why it was deleted. Like maybe the producer said, like, maybe we should work on the final look of him before we fully show him at some point.
And then they leaked it. Oh yeah, and maybe they leaked that footage just to get a early. Maybe
that wasn't a leak either. That was
that was legit.
Yeah, that was Matt Reeves put that out.
Well, I say leak. Now I don't know. There could have been a behind the scenes leak, and that's why it pushed them to do that early because it happens all the time. But but anyway, what I mean is, I wonder if they put that out there sort of as a test to see, kind of like what would fans think about this version of the Joker? What do they think his look is? And if they see overwhelmingly people are like, nope, they're like, oh, thank God we didn't go for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently I'm in the minority for my opinion on that because every time I look at comments, people are just foaming at the mouth, like loving it, and here I am thinking like, why were y'all fussing about Jared Leto's look? Because it's
yeah.
I'm just playing.
But yeah, I don't know how to. I'm interested in more of it. I don't really care if they go back to the Joker. If we were to do Joker in anything more, I would mind if it just stayed like Hannibal Lecter, like he's kind of like the scene that we saw in the movie. Don't need him out causing havoc. We don't need more of him.
Yeah, I want new villains.
At this part, or at least not at this juncture. If Matt Reeves is really intending to kind of build this universe, I'd like to see them take on other Batman villains besides ones we've either already seen or ones that have been done to death already, like Joker. I mean, Mr. Freeze would be a cool one to see.
I was going to say that would be one I would make an exception for. I wouldn't mind if they took another stab at it and just tried to, I don't know, if they found some cool angle. But otherwise, I just want to see some new villains, man. Mm-hmm. Some new villains.
But they can't bring any fantastical villains in because they're so grounded.
Yeah, that's the only.
But they've still got several villains they can go through, though, right? We never really. In terms of like these universes, they never really got the Deathstroke focus or the what's his name?
Yeah, Deathstroke isn't really a Batman villain though.
Yeah,
you could make him one though.
Yeah.
I would say one thing that's working in Mr. Freeze's favor though would be that Pattinson himself said that he'd love to see like Freeze be the next villain. So, I mean, I guess it depends on if Matt Reeves thinks that he can work an angle to make this more fantastical villain work in whatever style he wants to continue doing. If there are things about the Riddler that even I nitpicked at. I liked Dano's performance, and I liked the story and the motive with his character and how that all worked and the mystery with it. His final design, I'm still not sold on it. Like I hated the Zodiac mask because it felt too hard, like too try hard to imitate like this real life serial killer. So I felt like they could have done something better than that. But
what about his final plan though? Like
the flooding of Gotham,
and all that. I felt like it was okay, but not. To be honest with you, it's still it was okay, but it felt a little too like Batman Begins. It felt a little too like it echoed it too much. Like I felt like they should have came up with a completely different.
I remember my wife being very surprised when it started flooding. Like it was a good twist on the plan.
Batman. Well, I was going to say Batman Begins, but what I meant to say was in terms of like the actual explosions and stuff that happened. I was like, it really didn't. I was like, it's kind of like Dark Knight to me. It echoed a lot of that. So there was no. I didn't feel as much of a oh no, you know, in the end when his plan has come to fruition, I guess.
But I appreciate like story wise, like most of my stuff came down to design creative choices, but like for the most part, story wise, I was thoroughly impressed and sold on it. Like even that ending part, the whole stuff with the flooding, I like that because it served a good purpose of Bruce realizing that he can't just do this being this, angry, almost killer, that just beats criminals senseless. I think that was him realizing he had to be more than that,
Right. It came out. I don't know. It was good. It was like I got where they were going with it, but it came off so weird, and then the I mean, like just the setup was weird. It really was just like I said, it was kind of an odd scenario to throw Batman into. It was just kind of odd. It was like it was almost like throwing Batman into a Superman gauntlet.
Well, Superman could stop Superman could create a tornado to suck the water through the levees. What did you think, Ashley?
If I had a little tagline to put on the box art, it would have to be like, you have to see this one twice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the reason I say you have to see it twice is because I wasn't totally impressed the first time, and I'm hoping the second time changes that. And for a lot of reasons that y'all both have stated, some of the positives, the Batmobile was awesome. I like that.
Better than I expected. Yeah.
I love the Batmobile. I just wish there were some added pieces or something to make it a little more Bat-like, or like
but I can understand
because it felt a little bit just Fast and Furious, like Dodge Charger kind of running around.
I will say there's
like this rocket engine in the back. Though, so.
And I will say it disappointed me slightly that it was used so little.
Yeah.
Because it was his main mode of transportation was the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I can get why, but then when you think about it like that, it almost seems like the Batmobile was just a mandated piece. Like the studio said, there has to be a Batmobile in this movie. Find somewhere to put it, because otherwise, it doesn't seem like the Batmobile is really necessary. It seems like if you wanted to, you could have had the plot just be motorcycle if you wanted. Yeah. So, but it was good though. I liked the look. And I watched it in GTX, so when it started revving up, that was an experience.
Yeah,
like I could feel it. And that was
But they try to sell you on this movie as being this is the Batman that's the detective Batman that you've never seen before. I'm like, okay, so he's really good at solving these birthday card riddles as soon as they open up the card. But yet he didn't see the whole freaking bomb thing, from the beginning. He's freaking Batman. Why didn't he see this? And you could have avoided this whole, Gotham drowning garbage. And that made me, and you think the movie's about to end, and then you have this whole other 30 minutes of him trying to save people from drowning. And I didn't get the whole, what you were talking about, him transitioning from I can't do this with my fist, I've got to be the hero part. I'm like, nah, that's not Batman to me. Batman doesn't care about being a hero. Batman cares about justice, bringing people in and maybe, reforming those people or whatever, but saving lives. But I guess that's part of being a hero. But he doesn't care about that aspect of it. And I felt a little disconnect there. I felt a big disconnect with Bruce Wayne because he looked so weird. It's like maybe I'm just getting old, and that's what people are supposed to look like nowadays.
I think about the movie, and I remember the first photos I saw of him as Bruce Wayne, and I was just like making fun of it left and right.
Yeah.
But it fit. I mean, I'm saying this hoping that there are changes that are seen in the second one to show that this Bruce is, going through changes now as a person, because I think it fit. If that's the purpose, was it fit who he was at that point, which, even what he said to Alfred was, I don't really care if I die doing this. He said, he kind of cemented that I'm going to do this. If it kills me, so be it. And he, so of course, getting your hair cut and styled is going to be the last thing on his, on his to-do list if he's in that kind of state of mind. So that's why I think like was part of like why the ending was like it was, where it's going to get him hopefully out of that mindset to where he realizes he has to be a little bit, kind of like how Bruce Wayne was in Nolan's trilogy. Was he realized Bruce had to do some work too, and not just Batman, because if he wants to truly help Gotham, he's not going to be able to do it by just beating up bad guys left and right. He's got to do stuff to actually help, not as Batman, but, as Bruce Wayne to, help the people.
I think Nolan did a better job of getting Bruce to that point.
Yeah.
Story-wise.
Well, that's why I think it's going to be maybe more of a slow burn, maybe, like I said, I'm hoping that when we see Bruce Wayne again in the next part of this, that he is like, maybe he has a haircut and he's trying to do more Bruce Wayne activities. Maybe he's trying to see what's going on with Wayne Industries or whatever.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I of course we get to watch it Monday because it comes on HBO Max, So
one other thing I'll say I didn't like at all in this, like, I didn't mind the Batsuit design. Wasn't a big fan, but I didn't mind it so much. I didn't like the gauntlets. I didn't like his grapples were on. It looked like Black Widow's gauntlets from like Iron Man 2 and Avengers and stuff like that. Just doesn't look right.
I didn't mind that so much as the cape. So there's this one shot, and when he comes into the first time you get to see Batman up close when he's checking out the mayor's death. And you see him from the ground up, right, as he's walking in the room. Well, the cape doesn't go down, but maybe to his boots. And, of course, the way Pattinson's walking, he's like duck-footed. So it doesn't really look like a athletic kind of walk to me. Because his feet are out like this when he's like stepping. And I'm like, that's just something weird that I've noticed. Like, if you see athletes walk, they walk like this.
Forward. Yeah.
People who are unathletic walk like this, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just,
it could have been an oversight just by, I'll maybe think that was an oversight. Maybe it was like a reshoot thing and it wasn't even Pattinson's feet that were shot with it were caught.
Or it could be just the angle at which it was shot made the feet go out kind of wide because it was so up close or something. I don't know. But that just really, really bugged me. Just the way he walked in that scene. And it's little things like that. I mean, it's little things like that I'm like, this is not.
I didn't like I don't like his cowl either. His cowl still.
I still don't like his cowl.
Me. Yeah, and I get what they were doing because they were trying to do like even the Riddler's mask is like that. What do they call those? There's nose guards on there where it's not like it's kind of rounded.
Yeah.
It was like he was basically trying to do that with the bat suit, but it was like it was stitched on up here and all that. And I just don't like that.
I didn't mind that so much as
I didn't like the high jaw.
Yeah.
Because it felt that's what annoyed me, because I remember people like, kind of ogling over saying like, oh man, they are really taking advantage of Pattinson's jawline. It's like it just looks ridiculous. Like the point of Batman is, he doesn't want people to figure out, if Bruce Wayne's got that much of a jawline that's noticeable, he'd be smart enough to, know to hide it a little bit with his, mask.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say Commissioner Gordon did a great job. The guy played.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That was good. So I like the dynamic between him and Batman, throughout
Andy
the whole
Serkis
movie.
was great as Alfred too.
When you got to see him for like 20 seconds.
Right. It's like, but he felt like, wasn't they going for their Batman Earth? Was it called
Earth One? Yeah, because it
One?
really implied that he was like he's the one that taught Bruce to fight. Because he even
Right.
said it at some point, you know, when I taught you to fight or something like that.
Yeah.
So sounds like he has that Royal Marine background.
But other than I'm just gonna have to watch it again just to get a final take on it, because it's like we were talking about earlier before we even started. The Dark Knight Rises was the last DC movie that I came out of feeling, this is great. This was great the first time I watched it in the theater, and it just seems like Marvel just keeps kicking their butt, because every Marvel movie I go to, it seems like I'm feeling, that was a good movie, when you get through it, except for what?
Except for Eternals.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Eternals.
That one kind of zaps all that out of you.
Yeah, but everything else, Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie, like Shang-Chi.
Which I just bought, by the way. I'm so happy.
I need to get it
me
still.
Too. Me too.
Which version did you get?
I got the 4K from Walmart.
The Walmart version.
The Walmart cover.
I was gonna say that's what we
I
got.
love that
'Cause
cover. That's what
me and my wife both attacked Best Buy trying to get the Steelbook. We don't think they ever got them here, like ever. I don't think they ever reached the store, or if they did, the workers must have got.
Wow.
Like maybe one or two actually got to the was given to the store, and I bet somebody must have got them because they never had them. So I tried to get the Best Buy Steelbook, but yeah, since we couldn't get that, I got the Walmart 4K.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, but we haven't watched it yet. We're waiting because we're going through the Marvel movies. We just finished Iron Man 2. Yeah, we just finished Iron Man 2, and I just picked up, found Thor in 3D the other day. So I got that. So I'm going to watch that again in 3D, the first Thor. And so that's exciting. Yeah. So I'm going to finally get to Spider-Man again, because like I felt a little like when I was watching the new Spider-Man, I felt a little lost in the beginning because I'd kind of forgotten how it ended in the second one.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen it once. I bought it. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I own it, and I only have seen it once. And I remember, Jake like outing him, and then I was like, wait, was that where it ended? I thought there was a little bit more to it after that, but anyway, it was.
Oh.
And then the movie cuts. Is that right? Yeah.
He didn't get the rest of it out. He just says that.
So that's why I want to go back through and watch all three of them together, kind of like maybe binge all three of them together and see how they flow.
Well, before we get through the Batman, here's one little thing, Austin. I don't know if you've seen this yet. I'm going to share it. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, let me share it.
Is this real?
Yeah,
that's real.
Yes.
That's the costume.
Yes.
We're going to see in the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. The only and now that it's confirmed, I only have one minute complaint. I'll let it slide. The belt. The only thing is, no, it's just if you're going to go with the original Batman, I feel like there's certain pieces on everybody's, like any kind of iconic character's uniform, you would kind of call it.
Yeah.
So you always want to make sure you include certain pieces. I like this belt. I'd leave it just the way it is. I would just have changed the middle design to be the yellow design, like the original belt. Like, but I like the capsules going around. That doesn't bother me. We could definitely go that, and it still does carry the style, because if you look, it has the notches.
Yep.
But then it's covered up now. You see the capsules going around. I don't know. I mean, I'm nitpicking it, but I'm still. It's like, oh my God, this is wonderful. Why are we seeing this now?
I think it was a leak.
Too. Yeah, it was a leak. It's some promotional photos that were taken that shouldn't have been released yet.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm kind of stunned. It's just like it's you want to see, I was ready to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think it was going to get revealed to the movie, but that looks great.
Did I spoil it for you? Did you not want to see it?
I'm just saying I wasn't expecting it. So it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this before the podcast to Ashley. I'm kind of like in that. There's stuff about it that I'm really excited to see, and then there's stuff about it. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but and then there's stuff going on, like behind the scenes that I'm kind of just dreading dealing with, seeing it get to the point where, like, when I see this Flash movie after it's done, I might be like, probably gonna be just kind of like off of the DC train for at least for the most part with the big stuff. Like, I guess, I might still come back. I'll probably still watch certain things. Like, I definitely want to see Aquaman 2, or maybe Shazam 2, or
Batgirl?
Peacemaker season 2, whatever else anything James Gunn does in the DC world, I'm gonna definitely be on board with watching that. But I don't know. Yeah, Batgirl. Yeah, I'll probably watch Batgirl too. But I don't know. Changes I've heard about, just like they're not interesting me. But but then there's also stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not going to know anything until it feels like big stuff's happening. We're just not going to know until we know.
Well, Discovery. I just read an article talking about Discovery is wanting to put together. They're doing a search for a Kevin Feige type to kind of do the magic to DC that he did with Marvel, and then. The day before that article came out, like yesterday, Zack Snyder posted this weird picture of like some 35 millimeter reels. And he was like dusting off the old Justice League things, getting them ready for, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's like he's about to do something. And somebody said, could this be him like taking this to the Warner Discovery people and saying, here's my ideas?
Maybe.
Maybe he takes the Kevin Feige.
I doubt that. I doubt that'll happen, just because he has, because of the divisive nature his movies have made. And I bet, they know in the back of their head, even if they were wanting to corroborate with him, I bet at least they'll know, like, we can't just publicly, or we just can't, just put this on him and then go out and say, like, he's our new Kevin Feige, because we will get flayed alive by I'm sure certain people will, or, but I hope he sticks in some capacity with helping kind of guide stuff, at least. Not, he didn't have to write or make, direct anything, because he's having his own fun. I can't wait to see his Rebel Moon movie. But I kind of hope that they don't completely wipe him away, and try to pretend he doesn't exist, or what he's made doesn't exist anymore.
But I'm trying to think who could take that and right the ship.
I don't know. Like, that's something I couldn't answer, because Feige himself, he was lightning in a bottle.
But he was also a super hardcore fan too.
Yeah.
So
but he also had a lot of experience. He had a lot of experience too behind him as a producer. So you got to find someone who's got all that, and also just doesn't have an ego trip like, say like a Joss Whedon.
But I just don't understand why DC can't have it. Marvel has it. Star Wars has it now with Favreau, Filoni.
But the thing was, a producer with that kind of, cultural significance power hadn't really been heard of in a long time, like a long time. Feige, he's, when, we go just below the surface of a surface, movie-going Marvel comic book fan. Most people you say Feige to, they're going to know exactly who you're talking about. It's like, oh, that's the guy who does all the Marvel movies, Yeah. So,
but you hear stories too about Kevin Feige. Like, you walk into his office and the map is on the wall.
Yeah, he's a big fan of both sides. He loves DC movies too. I think he's friends with, I think, Jeff Johns, or he was friends with Jeff Johns.
But back to the map. The map, shows where everything fits and future storylines and how this character play. And it's like DC's like, today we're doing Batman.
Reacting, or we're overreacting or reacting to everything.
Yeah.
So overcorrecting.
Hot. Yeah. Blue Beetle. Okay, we're doing a Blue Beetle movie. Okay, and you don't even have your freaking DC like multi or universe. Just started really well yet. I don't know, man.
I feel like you're on to something though, because this is how I would look at it from a company perspective. Snyder, his product has proven, at least in the DC universe of late, his product has proven its worth. Like, it has some worth, because he kind of started that new Flash,
Mhm.
and that new Flash is gaining the new buzz
Mhm.
because it's got the old Batman.
Yeah.
So it's all, it all kind of comes from Snyder. So
Mhm.
you have to. I feel like what I would have done, what I would do is use that as a portfolio and something to your advantage, and also the fact, like I think you were saying, it seems like he does have these big plans, these big ideas that he could take to them
Mhm.
and go, like, this is what we should be doing. Like
Mhm.
we should be doing. I mean, yeah, we should be doing, grounded movies, like Batman. We got to have our Batman series. We're going to have Superman. I mean, portions of Superman are, grounded, but, you'll have stuff like that. But we got to get out there because, like, to me, Green Lantern is such a wasted potential.
Mhm.
Very
Because
much
I
so.
feel like, I mean, it's golly, that could be their guardians, that could be their bread and butter. Star Wars, it could be their bread and butter because you can do so much, and the fact that it interweaves with the other universes, like it makes sense. It's just that alone is wasted potential. And then, like I said, we saw in Justice League where that even ended off, that's incomplete. So I just feel like that's more we can tell.
Yeah.
And then, and I want to see that Superman told with a story that's off planet. Like I want to see him in space. I want to see him, maybe in a story that links back to Krypton and all that. Now that we have the technology and we can actually do this and not make it look cheesy, we can combine, make it look real, but then have the really cool special effects, like the man's flying all over the galaxy or whatever. I mean, they can do that now. It's like it is gonna take a hard hit. It's probably gonna hurt some feelings, but if they want to be a viable brand, I feel like that's something they need to do.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's their MO though. Superman Returns. You set up this big thing, Superman and his kid, never hear from it again. Green Lantern, never hear from it again. Zack Snyder's stuff. Who knows if we'll ever hear anything from it again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I even remember when Superman Returns came out, and that being the topic of conversation was about that daggum kid.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter. It was like at least something they were bringing something to the table to talk about and kind of be like, it was like an earworm for the next installment. Like, are we gonna get more of that?
Yeah.
So.
Well, do we have any quick toy news coming up? Where we had a lot of stuff revealed, and what was it? Just recently, Moon Knight, I think, figures got revealed.
Oh yeah, there was definitely some. Have you got that pulled up or?
Yeah, I do. It is.
I don't know. Can Austin look at these?
Yeah, I can just share it. I don't know if I can just.
No, I'm saying he hadn't seen any of the Moon Knight yet.
Ooh.
Do you want to?
I don't even know anything about Moon Knight.
And he's not going to understand. We'll just.
He ain't gonna understand. And then y'all gonna show me like naked people.
Here they are.
Understand.
Let me see.
You just a kid. You just a boy. You don't know. You just a boy.
You don't know nothing about this here Moon Knights.
So, and this is up for pre-order now with Hasbro Pulse and I think other online sellers. Can you see these?
Yes, it looks like Steven.
Can y'all give me a quick
Steven?
Like a quick pitch of what Moon Knight is?
There's no such thing as a quick pitch.
Yeah, I don't know if you could quick
never
pitch
mind
this
then.
one.
But it has Egyptian ties, right?
These two figures that you're looking at are the same person.
Yeah,
right. No, I gathered it was probably the same person. But it
two aspects of the same person.
I had heard something about it being a lot more. I think this is what I'd heard. It was way more. I guess respectful to Egyptian culture. Like it wasn't as what they kind of deem racist or like stereotypical culture. Like it was way more authentic and based in reality. And on top of the bad Cantonese, I was
going to say, like, well, if they care so much about cultural respect, you think they would, unless that's supposed to be part of the character is that he's just speaking gibberish and people think that he's speaking Cantonese. So I don't know.
Oh no, I didn't really recognize it.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. Figure looks really good. I don't know if I'd get him yet. I'm gonna wait till I finish it before I decide if the character's cool enough for me to want a
that-
figure for.
Is that Build a Figure Ultron from What If?
I think it might be because we've seen some other ones.
Yeah.
The Hawkeye figures, both of them have pieces of this.
Well, that makes sense because this is a Disney Plus wave or theme, right?
Yeah,
So,
that would make
Yeah. Okay.
So we got that. That was out. What else have we got? We got a bunch of Black Series stuff that came out.
Oh yes, lots of Black Series and the Vintage Collection stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say they pretty much like announced. Like I know the biggest one out of that I was excited for was the Sam. The Saw Gerrera.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show that in this.
Now, is he going to be a deluxe figure? From
$34.99.
Okay.
Crazy.
I was just wondering.
So
he looks big. I mean, the mold looks great too. I love that design.
Were you aware that Saw Gerrera wore a sandal?
I did not.
I was not either.
I was like, dude, that dude's wearing an Adidas like mine. Like I got one.
He's got on slides.
Yeah.
Oh, this is some older stuff, but yeah. So these are the main reveals that we got. Were Lando.
Vintage Collection Lando.
Yeah, Sergeant Creel from the comics, I think.
Yep.
Saw Gerrera. This one was actually pretty cool to me. Redeemed Vader from Infinities. If you ever read the Return of the Jedi Infinities storyline, I forgot what they changed about it, but because each Infinities was like a what if something different happened. Like A New Hope was what if Luke's proton torpedo didn't destroy the Death Star. I think Empire Strikes Back was what if Luke died from his injuries from the Wampa, and Leia basically had to take up the mantle. I forgot what exactly was the change for Return of the Jedi, but in the end, though, the ending basically, not getting too much into it, Luke and Leia became Jedi, both of them, and Vader had a change of heart and resolved to save his children from Palpatine. Palpatine escaped in the end, and Vader defected to the New Republic to help them, or to the Republic to help, or the Rebellion to help them fight his former master, which was a cool twist. There was never a follow-up for it, but that's how it ended.
I actually like the Princess Leia figure too.
Yeah.
From the new comic line, the Marvel comic line.
Yep.
It's a good looking figure. I would love to have that one.
What's cool is how reminiscent it makes me think of Padme from like Clone Wars and Episode 2.
Because
it's kind of got a little bit of her.
Yeah, but it is similar to like her look in the comic, though. I mean, it's based on a look from the comic.
Yeah, from the Princess Leia series.
And this is another vintage figure. The last one. Is this just a?
Yeah, what is his name? Is that a guy's name, or is it just a Mandalorian trooper?
This is Mandalorian Super Commando. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there was a lot more. There's a lot of gaming greats.
Yeah. If we see right here,
actually, I think that's that might have been a Death Watch airborne trooper.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
But collection, I think that's the Death Watch.
Yeah, and we also got Shay Vizsla, I think was another one that, you can see her up here, Shay Vizsla from the Old Republic, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
So they released a lot of stuff. I don't know which ones of those I would put money down on, but it's a little light on what we have got, but I'm excited for some of that stuff coming up.
I am. I want the Saw and the Leia. I'm kind of on the fence about the kind of like that Stormtrooper, but I hadn't bought any
Sergeant Creel.
Yeah, Creel, but I hadn't really gotten any of that. I don't know. I don't have any, because now that I look at it, I'm like, I don't think I have any Stormtroopers at all, like Black Series troopers. I never did. I should have bought. I should have at least gotten one, or gotten like a Luke or Han and Stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
If you were to get one, though, Creel would be a cool one to get just because of his significance in the comics. Was he was a Stormtrooper that had a lightsaber. So
that's why I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe.
Yeah,
because he was pretty cool. I still wish I could have gotten a hold of an Asajj.
Yeah, those
I
are
never
hard to get now.
Him. Yeah.
Well, we got hauls.
Yep.
Yes.
So to that, I got plenty. Who wants to go first? Austin?
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
Oh, me? So I got a couple of things. I'll start out with the smallest one. So we got the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga that came out. I got the deluxe edition, and it came with this minifigure of, I don't see if we can see him very clearly enough, but yeah, this is Blue Milk Luke. Can't really
He's
see
supposed to have a milk mustache too, right?
Oh yeah, he does. If I could see it, if I can make it clear, but yeah, he's got like a little bit of a.
It's hard to focus in on those Legos.
Yeah, but you can kind of make out the blue though, a little bit in the color.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's more got like a dumb blank look on his face. In the version I chose, there's two facial expressions. One's where he's kind of blankly staring ahead, and then
Maybe
the
the
other one
milk
he's
gone bad
like
or something.
smiling with a wink.
Oh yeah, maybe the milk went bad. Maybe that's why I like eating.
Ooh.
And like on Tatooine, when the milk's bad, it's like some crazy intestinal. We're talking about Rick and Morty type stuff where it's like got him in a hypnotizing trance.
The other thing I got, I finally decided to just break down and get this. Austin was actually with me when I grabbed it. I got John Wick.
Oh yeah,
This is from John Wick 2. So this is the character. So this is his look.
That actually
second
looks
movie.
really good.
Yeah, it's a really solid figure.
From
Diamond Select.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, while I was there, because I had seen that, and they had the Rocketeer figure,
Yeah,
and
And
I
he
was
also-
like,
yeah,
trying
and
to be
he-
good. Oh,
and he-
it's got the doggy.
yeah. He comes with his little dog that he rescued at the end of the first movie, and now it's his dog.
I
some
might
other-
actually have to get that. Because that's a good looking figure. I might have to go back and get that.
Yeah. And I got a Flex Series figure. I have gotten Rex
yeah.
from Bad Batch.
Heck yeah.
I have
You
not
haven't even opened
him
it yet?
Not yet. I've been waiting to show him on one show or the other.
Go ahead and
But,
open them. I want to see it. You should do the unboxing.
Well, let me show the other stuff first, and then while Ashley's doing his, maybe I could pop it open.
Yeah, go
This is late Christmas present from Austin. Since we finally got to kind of meet up. Finally got back Christmas. It's an awesome one. I got the ultimate Mikey Myers from Halloween 2018.
Oh yeah, you need to bust that one out too.
Yeah, comes with all these 2 different heads, accessories.
NECA.
Little light up pumpkin that actually lights up the little pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern.
Yep.
Different hands. That's one thing I love about NECA. So many accessories they put in their set. So it always really feels like you're getting your bang for your buck with them. And I just got this tonight. I figured since I got the other, because I thought Austin had gotten me this one. So I just got this.
Oh,
Halloween
sweet. You got the
Kills.
kills.
Yeah,
I was
so
gonna
now I've got
see,
both
like,
of them.
is it mainly the difference is the burned up mask, and then like he only has the
He only has 3
bandaged
fingers.
up. He's only in there bandaged up or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and he's got he's got a ton of weapons. He's got
Yeah.
2 different knives. One's bloody, one's not. He's got the fluorescent bulb that he kills someone with. He's got the baseball bat. He's got the little firefighter spike. So yeah, I can't wait to pop these open. And that's about it for me. So Ashley, what did you get?
Oh, okay. Let's start off. This is it. This is all I got. Alley Viper. Got him today, actually, in the mail. So, yay me! That's my haul for
Those GI Joes look great though. They're like really big.
Yeah,
Kind of reminds me of, for some reason that color scheme on him is giving me Magneto vibes.
orange and purple, orange and navy.
Well, from
and
here
blue.
it kind of looked reddish, so it's kind of giving me that reddish purple
Oh no, it's
Magneto vibe.
yeah, it's orange and blue.
Okay.
There was
we go.
one I can't remember which. Nice.
And let's see, let's pop his helmet off.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, and it's a soft goods. It's a soft goods cloak that he has on him. So
Soft goods.
How's the
is that a good soft goods or a annoyed
No,
soft
I
goods?
don't like soft goods.
They get everywhere.
So really, that was your haul?
They get
Ashley?
everywhere. Yeah, that was my haul.
Okay. I was gonna say I actually got a pretty decent haul this time. I was gonna say I finally was able to grab Back to the Future Part 2, the ultimate Marty McFly, which
Yes.
he's not in here.
You got Jip, man.
Yeah, I know. I bought it and I was like, what? But
He went back to the future.
I'll just take him off the stand. I'm gonna have to say though that I'm not impressed with the articulation in the legs and stuff like that because it's hard to stand him up, even with a stand. But I had to get this version because this is my favorite. Part 2 is my favorite of the trilogy.
Mhm.
Got the power laces, the awesome future jacket. I threw the the non-hatted head on here for now, but yeah, I mean the features are good. Obviously, this is my favorite part of the whole thing is the hoverboard. This is my dream, dude. This is like my dream toy as a kid. I wish I had a Marty like this when I was a kid. But the hoverboard, it's pretty neat. You can pop this little bottom piece off. It's like Lego. It's kind of like real flat, and it's hard to kind of pry that off. But if you pop this little piece off, you can swap it out. I must have dropped it. Huh? Somewhere here it is. I was gonna say I've already got it mounted on the mount, but see, you can put this slightly thicker purple piece so that you can just you just pop the hoverboard on this, make it look like I guess it's hovering off the ground. So you get that, and it's pretty neat. The figure comes with one thing in particular I thought that tickled me real good was it has a Pepsi, the Pepsi free, the sugar-free Pepsi.
Yeah.
It pops in. I thought that was hilarious that they get that. Oh, and your foot thing, you can swap this out so that you either have the piece that you can stick on there so it'll actually stick to his foot, or just the non-functional, just the prop looking piece, so it just looks like it's the thing just laying there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, NECA attention to detail. great figure. I was super happy about that. Obviously, today, or no, was it today, yesterday, sometime, finally got the latest edition of Batman 89. That must have been delayed or something. They finally released it this week. The number 5.
Oh, issue number 5.
So number
So
5 of
behind in
89. Dude, number 4 came out, it felt like 2 months ago. Like, no joke. We've just been waiting for it. So I don't know. There was a little bit of a delay on that. But anyway, so got that, and then found this just the other night at the store and flipped because I did not expect to see this. I hadn't seen it anywhere before, but I found the ultimate April O'Neil to go with the Ninja Turtles. If you look, the box is lenticular. Like, that's one
cool
feature right off the bat. You get the lenticular box.
Mhm.
It's like the TV screens from the Shredder's lair.
Find
And,
her.
but yeah,
Silencer.
but yes, you get April O'Neil, and I put her smiling face on there, and she's holding her
Mic.
News Channel 3 microphone, and I just made her drop her purse. Which her purse, it's actually pretty neat. I mean, it's really detailed. I mean, I'm gonna tell you
that
something.
is.
Look at. I mean, it starts to blur up, but yeah, there you go. See, I mean, the details in the stitching and stuff like that in that.
That's
bag.
what she was wearing. That was what she was wearing when she first meets them, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's supposed to have
When
like the
Raph-
sign. Remember, she
when-
could hide the sign here.
When Raph finds her. Well, no,
Yeah.
when Raph saves her from the foot and brings her to the home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But if you look, I mean, her face sculpt is actually pretty ding dang good. Like, I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, like I think Judith Oak on her YouTube talks about it.
Well, yeah, she was involved with them making sure that they did the scans and stuff. It didn't do it
Mhm.
justice in that shot, but there's obviously like certain angles too where it really looks good. But yeah, I was impressed. I'm glad. The only thing I keep saying this to all the like anybody that'll listen. I'm like, I just wish I could either find a custom one or they should release like a accessory set and give her a yellow raincoat
Oh
to
yeah.
put on her, just to have that little touch. But yeah, now I feel complete because I've got the Casey, I've got all my turtles, my Shredder, the Foot Soldiers. So I don't know. I finally feel complete because I just had to have my April.
Now he's
Now-
got to start
Kitty.
collecting on Secret of the Ooze,
Oh my God,
You don't
that's
have
the
Toka and Razor.
yeah.
well, that's Secret of the Ooze. That's coming. I mean, I hope to one day get up all the Secret of the Ooze turtles and everything when that comes out. But I don't know. Last thing I'll show you, I feel like I might be missing some stuff, but you might have even seen it in the background, the box, because this is something I just don't normally spring for, but this was a dream toy that I found, and you know, yeah, I had to make a decision. But yeah, I had to make an audible. And I'm telling you something. I definitely wasn't like I had trouble breathing when I was paying for it, but I finally got a 1/4 scale NECA Batman figure.
Where'd you get it?
Walmart of all places.
Oh, how much?
Surprisingly, it was like It was $96.99 or $98.99.
That does look cool.
But I mean, less than $100, and these easily retail for $150. And that's if they're nice. If it's a nice comic book shop, that'll give it to you for that much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're usually upcharging these things to like $250, you know. But yeah, oh my God, guys! I mean,
is it fully articulated?
Fully articulated. Everything. I mean, it's like everything. Full. I mean, he's got so many pieces. I mean, I'll show you the tray. I haven't. I've kind of played around with it, but you get like a whole bunch of stuff, you know, interchangeable hands so he can hold like his grappling hooks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's fully articulated. Plus you get this big old K. I mean, everything it's pretty much screen accurate at this point. I mean, that's
the first movie costume.
Yeah, this is the first Batman. Yeah, the first Batman movie costume. I hope they do a Batman Returns. But yeah, like you get the emblem. I mean, his belt's loose. You know, it's just kind of on his waist.
Yeah.
But if you really look at the detail, like for example, you can see here like where the body armor. I mean, it's all like I said. You could tell this is probably all like scanned in from the movie stuff. But you can see like where all the body armor begins and ends.
Got body armor,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Check his wallet.
Yeah, check his wallet. You know, about to get his mask. Yeah. And then old nosy woman had to take a picture.
Yep.
I actually just rewatched this the other day. I mean, but yeah, when I saw this, man, it was one of those where I just had to do it. This is like my 5-year-old self. If he had this, probably would have just disappeared like Luke into the Force, because I just about did when I bought it.
Into the Force.
I mean, it would I'm just saying, dude, this is everything you would have wanted as a child. Like, this is the ultimate Batman toy, and plus you get all the gadgets and stuff too, and yeah, and it's just a really well made figure. But yeah, I'm definitely very, very happy with it.
That does look cool.
I don't spring for the big figures as much, but this was definitely one of those where I felt like it was a good opportunity. And now I feel like I'm rolling with the big dogs. I got the big toys now. Look out, Hot Toys.
The big dog.
Yeah, that's pretty much my haul, guys.
Right.
Say bye, everybody.
I guess we'll have to wind this down. I think Ashley needs to take a nap.
Yep. I gotta go take a nap.
All right. We'll see you next time, either here again or on the Outer Rim News.
What?
Or on the podcast.
That's right.
Check it out.
Yeah, go over there and check us out, because we're cool
Also,
either way.
Talking about Star Wars. Much more. See you later.
That toy life.
To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.